Hello everybody, Siraz here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another cast. Today we have a PvZ on Xel'Naga, and it is going to be MouzHasuObs here spawning as the red Protoss versus Reyon spawning as the pink Zerg. Don't know too much about the Zerg player here, but he's probably pretty good if he's playing MouzHasuObs. And MouzHasuObs is a pretty well-known player. He was a Warcraft 3 player, switched to StarCraft 2, and probably, well, currently he is competing in the TSL 3, and he did beat Huck in the first round. He showed some really great blink stalker control in those matches, so he really kind of showed that he belongs in the TSL 3. A lot of people are kind of like, oh, MouzHasuObs, but yeah, he's a very, very solid player, and I'm excited to see this match. So if you guys are looking for this replay, I did go to the MouzSports website, and that's where I found this replay, so definitely, you know, check that out. Support the team. They're a European team, probably one of the biggest in Europe. They have some players such as Moro and who else? I know I'm missing some people, but anyways, I know they have some pretty good players, so definitely go to that website, check them out, give them your support. So with that, let's get on with the game. We do have, looks like it's a pool gas for Reyon here. Probably the Speedling. Gonna do a Speedling expand build, and just standard play from both players. You know, the Speedling expand thing is well, is really common on this map. And the reason being is just because it is just a 1v1 map, right? So the Protoss knows exactly when to get to your base to block your expansion if you go like a 15 hatch sort of build, and it's really annoying as a Zerg player to, you know, plan on going for a fast expand and then it just not happening. And so a lot of times you do just see Zergs just going this Speedling expand build, and so you just put guys in gas so you get 100, pull them off, get that Zergling speed, and then get a couple Zerglings and expand. And did you guys see how much damage this probe did? I am impressed. That probe was hard at work, doing over 200 points of damage to the spawning pool. That is a lot of zaps, I guess I should say, particle beams coming out of that probe here. And then stealing some minerals and returning to base, but not before doing some scouting. I mean, I don't really know where this guy's going to go. Okay, so what he's probably going to do here is just get in position to put down a pylon if he needs to, right? So if Hasu here decides to go for some sort of warp gate timing for whatever reason, he will have a pylon in position to do that. But a Ling did find this guy, and nice snuff out here by Reyon. This Ling will eventually catch up with this probe and kill him. And it looks like Zergling speed's pretty close, so as soon as that kicks in, I mean, it's pretty much game over for the probe. Nothing you can do about that. Looks like we're going to see a 3-gate expand. Standard. You know, it's a lot of Protoss like this build. It's been a, pretty much a staple of all Protoss players' builds since the beta, and it's really good. One thing to note is that you've been seeing, well, I've been seeing Protoss players expand a lot earlier than they used to. Used to be waited for like 6-7 sentries and a couple zealots. Now you can do it with a lot less, and Protoss have been getting away with that. And this is kind of crazy. Reyon here actually opting to go a 3rd hatch. I wonder what he's going to do with that. Might see a lot of Speedlings coming out here very, very shortly. That's the only reason I could think of him getting a macro hatch this early. Either that, or he just wants to saturate his bases as soon as possible. This is not very standard play. I'm excited to see what he's going to do with it. Too bad he is a little supply blocked here, but I mean, that should be rectified shortly. But yeah, the expansion, as you can see, the expansion's already down with only like 5 sentries and a zealot. And like I said, it's becoming a lot more standard to expand just even quicker than players used to. And getting a hallucinate, also very good. I've been seeing a lot more Protoss players using that as well to get, you know, scouting information. So I'm really kind of excited to see what is going to come out of this hatchery. We do have that evolution chamber on the way, so I'm thinking +1 melee attack is what we're going to see here. And then just a lot a lot of Zerglings. You know, that's really the only thing I could think of. We have 18 Zerglings on the way. This queen injecting both hatches. Needs another queen out though to really, you know, take advantage of this. And look at all these Zerglings going to be flooding out, going to kill these rocks, and going to take that third. It makes sense if you're going to go a lot of, you know, mineral heavy units, which is what this third hatch has got to be for. Taking that gold's a very, very good choice for a third. And yes, we do have that +1 melee attack. Ling, seeing what's going on, you're not going to see too much. Protest player pretty much stopped unit production at this point, and has just been focusing on his economy, getting a cannon, maybe a little bit worried because he did see, you know, a lot of Zerglings come out there. And probably that third hatch, which screams timing attack, right? So really quick third base, the gold here for Reyon. And, you know, I don't know, I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with this. A little bit of a misrally there, some Zerglings getting stuck home. Both of his bases, I hate when that happens. Well, basically, if you click the hatchery with your your right mouse button, I think. I'm not sure. If you click it with one of the mouse buttons, it stops rally points, and so your lings will just like be stuck there, right? So kind of crazy. Looks like Hasu getting ready to take a third, clearing out those rocks, and interestingly enough, opting to expand down, you know, not at the gold, away from his opponent here. In the meantime, getting a robotics bay. So what are we up to? 4 gates, looks like, and a robo bay. Probably gearing up for some Colossus relatively soon. So Reyon here, who has, I mean, been stuck on very low tech this whole time, needs to start considering going for some sort of attack relatively soon, in my opinion. You know, once we get these... Oh, and actually going for a counterattack. I like this. I think this will do a lot of damage. And MouzHasuObs is forced to pull back. Clicking on that Nexus, just going to go for the snipe. Interesting choice. Okay, then changing his mind, going to go for the workers. So, he got a number of workers there. We can take a look at that. Let's see here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Production tab. What is the units lost tab? They added these new tabs, and I am not used to them quite yet. Oh, so I only got 4 workers, so definitely not as, you know, much as I thought. Definitely didn't do as much damage as he could have there. Close that down. Kind of big and annoying. MouzHasuObs just continuing to poke in and out as he pleases. Like I said, we are going to be seeing Colossus relatively soon, and this is kind of the time for our Zerg player to go. He can't wait too much longer, needs to use these units or start to really be gearing up for some sort of higher tech. You know, he needs to put down that Spire if he's not going to attack relatively soon. As this sort of army just gets destroyed, absolutely annihilated by Colossus. Got that fake Phoenix, and yeah, Hasu just really gearing up to take that third. I thought he was going to do it earlier, but he's probably a little bit scared. You know, he's been doing some great scouting with these Phoenix. He sees exactly what's going on, and he's, you know, like I said, I think he's a little bit scared of this army here. So we are going to see an attack relatively soon. Hasu's getting in position to defend it. And this attack, I really like this by our Zerg player here, trying to get his forces spread out so he can get as much surface area as possible, but it is very hard to attack into these chokes. I mean, look at this. Basically, you get like a little area here and a little area here to attack unless you run units all the way around, but this is blocked. So I guess he could run, you know, up this ramp and try and get a little more surface area that way, but he is going to get annihilated by force fields if he attacks MouzHasuObs' army at the moment. And interesting choice here, we do actually see a infestation pit, so we're probably going to see some sort of infestor play, and that could be pretty good. I've heard a lot of people have had a lot of success with infestors recently against Protoss forces, but I don't know about a composition like this. If you look at what Hasu has, he has a pretty zealot sentry heavy army, which none of that takes bonus damage from infestors. Man, I'm excited to see if this is going to be able to hold off Colossus, though. And wow, look at this wall off. This is pretty interesting, but I think it's really a good idea here by Hasu. I really like this. You know, blocking this off. And that will make it so we don't have any sort of counterattack to this third base or any sniping of that third base by our player here. And looks like he kind of, that's what he wanted to do, but then realizes that, yeah, wow, look at this wall. We're not really gonna, not going to allow me to get in there at all. And yes, poor Creep Tumor does get taken out. First Colossus on the way. Second one's coming out as well. No Citadel yet, so we cannot see anything more than 1-1 for our Protoss player. A couple more gateways going, or another gateway going down, and there is the Citadel. Just finishing. Blink starting to be researched. And both these players just macroing very, very heavily here. We do see a fourth base being taken by Reyon. And we do see Neural Parasite being researched. So I am going to be very amazed if Neural Parasite works against these Colossus. A lot of times it just doesn't. But, you know, if he can pull this off, if Reyon can pull this off, make the Neural Parasite work, I am going to be thoroughly impressed. I guess if you have enough Infestors, you could get some good Fungals off and then go for the Neural Parasite. That might be the best way to do it. And Hasu clearing out these rocks, probably going to take this third and push at the same time. But look at all these Infestors coming in to join the fight. And I think this is the only thing that will be able to keep Reyon alive at this point in the game. So I have to see if this works out for him. Putting down a Fungal Growth here. And let's close this screen. Isn't this a cool feature? You can actually see a lot more of the game. Anybody who wants to do this, press Control W and you will be able to close your bottom. But it looks like both players are just going to retreat for now. You know, I haven't done a lot of casting recently, and playing with these new features is really cool. I'm really glad Blizzard added them in. They seem to be working really well. And this is looking worse and worse for our Zerg player. He needs to you know, get something going here. I think going to Greater Spire is a great choice. He is maxed out though, and he really can't do anything with this army. I think in this situation his best bet would be possibly a Nidus or some drops. He needs to start doing damage with this army. He needs to, you know, use these lings. Basically get rid of some of these lings is what it comes down to, right? So he could do some drops with the lings into the main. He could use these Infestors to possibly come over here and do some Fungals. That would be very, very effective, I think. You know, he can't just sit on this army any longer, as the longer he waits, the stronger this Colossus force is going to become, and looks like he is going to go for it now. Force fields blocking a lot of the Banelings. Some manage to get in, so those will do some damage. But oh my god, look at all those force fields. This is like a Zerg's worst nightmare. And that army did almost nothing. Looking at the food count, 172 to, well, 200 now. As our Zerg player did have a lot, so he should be able to remax. And this is actually a very critical time. What Reyon could do here is if he could get off some nice Fungals and delay for a little while, he could get out the force he needs to defend this attack. But not by doing what he's doing. He's reinforcing with only roaches and lings. That is a big mistake. He needs to get some higher tech units. He has the ability to make Broodlords. He needs to make Broodlords. Unless, yeah, he doesn't have any Broodlords morphine. I do not agree with this at all. I think Reyon is in for a lot of trouble. Or in for a lot of hurt. In trouble, in for a lot of hurt. There we go. And he is maxed once again, so he needs to do something with this army. Going to run up here, and this force once again is just going to get destroyed by force fields. That is the problem with just going with a very low-tech army. I mean, you need something to break those force fields, right? You could maybe get some Ultralisk. That could be something that could be good in this situation. But yes, we do see Corruptors being made, so this should definitely help our Zerg player here deal some more damage to MouzHasuObs. Let's take a look at the unit loss tab. Yeah, this is telling the story. I mean, this army has just run into a wall of force fields and not been able to break through it. However, if we look at these sentries here, I mean, the numbers are starting to dwindle. We're getting a lot less force fields in his army. I mean, I guess we can check the unit counting tab. So, I don't know. He still has 7 sentries, I guess. They're kind of hidden in here, right? But that should definitely... I mean, hopefully he has used enough of this energy so he can actually get in and do some damage here. Where are these Broodlords? Not Morphine Broodlords, just going with Corruptors. I don't know if this is the best choice. I mean, Broodlords would just be so good in this situation. So good. Okay, we do have 5 Broodlords Morphine, finally. And if he can get these out before Hasu does attack, this could... I mean, he could really decimate this force. But looks like that might not be the case. This force of Hasu is moving in. As soon as he sees those Broodlords Morphine, I think he is going to go for it. Fungals trying to go off. 1-2 Fungals getting off, but I don't know. I think the Broodlords were just a little too late here. Interestingly enough, Hasu decided to retreat. I guess as long as you have some solid Fungals, Broodlords can do just tons of damage. And this Infestor getting picked off, that was not a good Fungal there. So, basically, this point, right, the Zerg player is holding on for dear life with his Broodlords, and we'll have to see if Hasu can deal with it. You know, a good Blink could take these out, but this center position is so good for Broodlords as they can just sit over the open terrain and continue to just spit bad Broodlings out to deal tons of damage. But there's the Blink that I was talking about, and look how fast those Broodlords go down. And that is going to be it for Reyon. Ladies and gentlemen, I think he is going to allow his units to kind of get cleaned up. And there we go. MouzHasuObs taking out Reyon there with some pretty just solid Protoss play. You know, he really had some good building placement here. I think that is what I would say is the kind of shining moment of MouzHasuObs. Yeah, he had some nice, a little bit of harass down here, but that's, you know, it didn't really matter at that point. But yeah, I really like this. So for all you Protoss players out there, definitely this is something I would copy. I mean, I think that'd make my life just miserable as a Zerg player. And same with his double pylon block. You know, Zerg is all about counterattacking. I mean, they really are. So if you can block those routes, I think it really screws up with a Zerg's play. And you know, I think that's definitely something to look out for. And I guess I can wait a few seconds here, just so we don't spoil the replay. I like to add a little bit of time. Let me think about this. Any sort of announcements, anything? Going to try and update my Twitter whenever I ladder, and I'll be, you know, streaming that. So if anyone wants to see me play, wants to come say hi, whatever, it'll be fun. Come say hi, come tell me I suck, tell me I'm awesome, whatever, doesn't matter. Come play some games with me. Shit, anyone want to come play some games? Definitely check it out. So, I don't know, that's enough time. Hope you guys did enjoy, and with that, Siraz saying see y'all later.